You put it in my car and everybody's face in like the last 45 minutes. That's the only shopping thing that'll probably ever happen to you. Good day.
What
made us want to work on Supernatural?
Okay, sure.
Well, have you seen the two leads in that show?
No,
I'm not kidding, actually. No, I mean, Vancouver, there's not a lot. You take whatever comes along in Vancouver, it's not like LA, you kind of go, okay, I didn't know anything about the show. It was the beginning of the second season, and it was like, two other guys driving a car around demon hunting. It's like, okay. And then they gave me the first season to look at, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I didn't really have any knowledge of Supernatural before that. It was a pretty undercurrent show. So it came along, and it was like a regular gig, and it was a cool gig. I think mine was more the character than it was the actual show. And then once I got there, you know, my guys was just total romance for me. That's why I did.
I turned the show down initially because they showed me an episode. I'd never seen it before, and Jared Jensen fell down a hole in hell, or Jared did. And I think that was the episode that was Jake's last episode, right? I didn't know Jake at the time. I didn't even watch Jake's scene. I just watched that one scene, and so I said this to Tim earlier. I was like, I watched it, and I was like, I don't just want to be not as good looking as the two leads, but substantially not as good looking as the two leads. And I was like, I don't understand how I fit into this character. And so Sarah Gamble was running the show at the time, and she called me. She's like, we wrote this for you. It's kind of picky if you don't do it. So I did it.
Pressure. Like pressure.
And so I did it, and I had a really, really good time. And then Jared and I just became friends, and I wanted to keep going back and hanging out with him. And also the sandwiches on Friday. I'm not joking. There's a lady that comes on Friday that makes these sandwiches, and they're the best sandwiches. I'm not a sandwich person, and they're the best sandwiches you will ever have in your whole life. And I just kept thinking about them.
Hungry right now, aren't you?
Starving.
I think there's two.
1 minute?
There's two answers to me. I'll get it easy. One was that I just ended a run on Penguins in Madagascar that lasted 4 years, and I played private on that show, and it was heartbreaking. It was coming to an end, and I was very proud of it.
Skip us, please.
Mark Shepard, and I have a long history with Mark Shepard, so I was very excited to be on the show with Mark. So I hate to tell that story because he thinks I have a man crush on him, but
I don't think any of us made the decision. The question was why did you decide?
Yeah, that's right.
We don't get to make decisions about being on these shows. And my experience was that I met Jim Michaels at a party, right? And I really don't know if he had as much to do with it as Kim Manners. Kim Manners, who we all love, who passed on, was one of the producers. And Kim was my debut director on Jump Street. He directed me in my first show of Jump Street. He directed me in my final episode of X-Files. And he requested me, either he or Jim Michaels requested me for Supernatural. So that's how I ended up with the job of Supernatural. And you know, to say I'm saying too, it's all about a paycheck for all actors. It's all about a paycheck initially. You know, we want to work, and that's our job.
Turn stuff down.
I don't even get how he gets through that. Right.
Yeah, DJ can go, I'll be on the Big Bang Theory again. We don't go, we'll be on any episodes of the Big Bang Theory. Like,
There's a reason for
no, I get it.
He's also a very distinct type. So he gets offered stuff.
I've cornered the market. I'm the only person that does this. So, I'm at a point early in my career, people started writing things into scripts to DJ Qual all the time because they couldn't find that. I would get the part, but early in my career, I started in teen comedy, and it was right before movies don't pay actors anymore. Only the two leads get paid, and so we're all fighting over scale. The middle class actor is kind of dying, right? The character actor, and so like
completely in just under the wire when the films were still paying, so I did like The New Guy and a couple other films that paid me a decent amount of money, and I saved it all. I lived in a one-bedroom apartment. It cost $800 a month for 10 years. And so I saved all the money to allow me to be able to say no if I wanted to. I mean, it's a really rare position to be in. But I don't just randomly say no to things. I mean, there's a lot of factors, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to go and be embarrassed that Jared, I had to be naked in my last episode of Supernatural, and Jared said he's going to show up and do jumping jacks and push-ups behind me. Like, why would you want to subject yourself to that?
Did you put the little sock on?
I did have a cotton sock, and then we negotiated underwear.
No, the little sock.
I did not have Mr. Fizzle's time.